If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. This is just absolutely sickening. This is the kind of stuff that gets my blood boiling beyond belief. Hearing stories like this and then seeing how little time these people spend in jail. And this shouldn't surprise anybody that a Brooklyn rabbi has been charged with teen sex assault. And you know what his punishment is for the crime? 60 days in jail. 60 days in prison. People go away for years for the smallest of crimes, including not paying their taxes. 60 days for molesting and sexually assaulting various little boys. Surprised? You shouldn't be, because these courts have been set up to protect these Zionist frauds who claim to be Jewish when they're not. I'll read you the article. A Brooklyn rabbi charged with sexually abusing 4 teenage boys in a hotel was sentenced to just 60 days in jail and 6 years of probation. So pretty much sentenced to nothing. He's getting a 2-month vacation. 60 days? Give me a break. Yoel Malik, 33 years old. No surprise there that he's 33 years old. A member of the Satmar Hasidic sect was given the generous plea deal after the victims were extremely reluctant to testify publicly, according to a law enforcement source familiar with the case. And this is what they do. They use fear. They scare these children. That's what they did in McMartin. That's what they do in a lot of these child abuse cases. They use fear to scare them into testifying, as well as shaming them and embarrassment, because they're embarrassed to come forward after being involved in something like this. They don't want to get made fun of. It's something they don't want to talk about. They don't feel comfortable talking about it, even though they know that this occurred. But it's just another way to get this guy off the hook. But wait, it gets worse. In 2013, Malik was charged with 28 criminal counts and shamelessly blamed his underage victims for trying to seduce him. So he blamed these children who he molested in a hotel. He blamed them for trying to seduce him. That's how low this is. Are you kidding me? And people buy this stuff? Yeah, a bunch of little teens are trying to seduce this weird-looking Zionist creep. It says the boys were all students at Or Hamir, a now shuttered Satmar Yeshiva in Borough Park. The alleged victims were between 13 and 16 when the incidents occurred. So between 13 and 16-year-old boys. The rabbi was accused of groping all 4 boys in motels, prosecutors said after his arrest. The twisted teacher also allegedly forced 2 of the boys to perform oral sex on him. Let me repeat. Oral sex. He forced 2 of the boys to perform oral sex on him, and he's getting 60 days in prison. It goes on to say that one of the victims was also forced to perform oral sex on Malik inside his car parked near a cemetery on a separate occasion, according to prosecutors. In 2014, he pleaded guilty to a felony luring a child and a misdemeanor count of sexual misconduct. So obviously this guy has a track record of luring children, of molesting children, of forcefully molesting children, forcing them to give him oral sex, which is technically rape, okay? Forcing it on a young 13-year-old boy. Over the past 2 years, he completed a series of probation requirements, including a sex offender class and staying away from children, court records show. As part of the deal, the felony was dismissed upon completion of probation supervision. On Tuesday, he was sent to Rikers Island for 60 days for the misdemeanor offense. This is the world we live in. No big deal, right? No big deal. Just, molesting young boys as a teacher, as a rabbi. If this was a priest, of course, because they remember now, these priests, these Catholic priests, they're all part of these same secret societies. It's a front. They're not really Christians, the majority of them. Just like these rabbis are fronting as, being Jews, being real Jews when they're not. We know in the Talmud how it approves that rabbis are allowed to do this to young boys. How they're allowed to do this to young children. It applauds it in the Talmud. And that's why I go crazy about people who are protecting the fake Jews and the synagogue of Satan, because their own teachings in their temple